How to manage anger, a path to emotional freedom. Hello and welcome. I want to start by saying this: anger is a human emotion, it's something we all feel. If you are here struggling with how to manage it or feeling overwhelmed, you are not alone, and I'm glad you've taken the step to seek something positive. Together, in this video, we'll go on a journey to understand anger, its root causes, and most importantly, how to manage it in ways that nurture your mental and emotional well-being. Let's take this step forward with empathy, understanding, and the strength to heal. Let me begin with a story. Imagine this: a young professional heads out to what seems like a promising day at work. Midway through the morning, they have a disagreement with a colleague. Voices get raised, words are exchanged, and by the end of it, the relationship feels shattered. What started as a small misunderstanding has now spiraled into a moment of rage, regret, and hurt. Later at home, they replay the incident in their mind. Why did I let it get so out of hand? They wonder. They feel weighed down by guilt and frustration but can't figure out how to avoid this pattern. Does this sound familiar to you? Many of us have found ourselves in similar situations. Uncontrolled anger leaves behind wounds, some visible, some deeply buried. But what if I told you that anger itself isn't necessarily bad? What if, instead of allowing it to harm us, we could use it as a tool to grow, heal, and rebuild connections? Let's dive deeper into understanding what causes anger and how we can regain control of it. Anger often feels sudden, like a storm. But in truth, it's a response, the result of emotions bubbling beneath the surface. It can stem from unmet expectations, feeling disrespected, stress, or even unresolved pain from the past. Sometimes the smallest thing, like being cut off in traffic, can trigger a reaction if we are already carrying inner tension. At its core, anger serves a purpose. It's a signal, much like a warning light on your car's dashboard. It indicates that something inside you needs attention, whether it's a need for fairness, respect, or emotional safety. The key is to recognize this signal and respond to it constructively, rather than allowing it to control you. I want you to ask yourself, what tends to ignite my anger? Is it a specific situation or kind of interaction? Or does it arise when I feel ignored or taken for granted? Identifying your triggers is the first step in managing anger effectively. When left unchecked, anger can have devastating effects, not just on our relationships but also on our inner peace. In the moment, it might feel like a release, as though shouting or blaming someone relieves the tension. But later, the aftermath sets in: the regret of words said in haste, the guilt of hurting someone, and the heavy emotional toll of conflict. Did you know that anger also affects your physical health? Prolonged, unregulated anger can lead to increased stress hormones like cortisol, high blood pressure, and even heart problems. Emotionally, it pushes people away, leaving you feeling isolated. However, anger doesn't have to define your relationships or your well-being. By taking small steps, we can turn this powerful emotion into a force that heals rather than harms. The first thing to understand is that anger isn't something to be ashamed of. It's a natural emotion, and suppressing it often causes more harm than good. Bottling up anger might feel like a way to avoid conflict, but eventually, it leads to emotional outbursts or internal distress. Instead, I encourage you to acknowledge your anger when it surfaces. Imagine saying to yourself, "I feel anger right now, and that's okay." Recognizing it allows you to take control and decide how to respond, rather than letting it dictate your actions. When you feel anger rising, take a mindful pause. Stop what you are doing, close your eyes if possible, and focus on your breathing. Breathe in deeply through your nose for a count of 4, hold for 4 seconds, and exhale through your mouth for 4 seconds. Repeat this cycle until you feel calmer. This small act of mindfulness gives you the space to regain control before reacting. Anger often manifests in the body: your jaw tightens, fists clench, or your chest feels heavy. Find ways to release this tension physically but safely. Go for a brisk walk, do light stretches, or even punch a pillow. Physical movement helps channel the energy of anger in a positive way. One helpful tool is using calming self-talk in the moment of anger. Phrases like, "I am in control" or "I choose to respond calmly" can shift your mindset. These words reinforce that you are the one steering the wheel, not your anger. Did you know that anger can also be a motivator for positive change? When channeled effectively, it drives action, whether it's solving problems or advocating for what matters to you. For example, if you are angry about being overlooked at work, use that energy to have a calm, constructive conversation about your contributions and goals. Here's a simple strategy. When you feel anger brewing, pause and ask yourself, what is this anger telling me? What can I do about it that's helpful rather than harmful? Often, anger signals an unmet need. Addressing that need constructively shifts your energy from destructive to productive. Once the storm has passed, take time for reflection. Ask yourself, what triggered me? How did I respond? Could I handle it differently next time? Journaling your thoughts can be a powerful tool for this. Writing creates a safe space to explore emotions without judgment and gain insight into recurring patterns. If your anger has hurt someone, remember that repairing the relationship shows immense strength. Apologizing sincerely can begin the healing process, even if it feels hard. Phrases like, "I was overwhelmed and reacted poorly," "I'm truly sorry," display accountability and promote understanding. At the same time, forgive yourself. You're human, and growth comes through acknowledging mistakes and working to improve. Empathy is a game-changer when managing anger. Often, conflict escalates because we focus solely on our feelings. Try to step outside yourself and consider the other person's perspective. What might they be feeling? This doesn't excuse harmful behavior but helps prevent misunderstandings and promotes a calmer approach. Here's another effective tool: gratitude. When anger feels overwhelming, shift your focus to what you are grateful for. Gratitude rewires your brain to center on positivity rather than conflict, making it harder for anger to take over. Let me share an inspiring example. There's a story of a man who was constantly angry about financial struggles he faced. Rather than letting his anger consume him, he channeled it into building a budgeting app to help others avoid his challenges. His anger gave him purpose, turning a negative emotion into positive change. Let this remind you that your anger, too, holds the potential for growth. Managing anger isn't just about avoiding outbursts, it's about building emotional resilience so you can handle life's challenges with grace. Every time you regulate your emotions or respond differently to a trigger, you strengthen your resilience. Be patient with yourself. This journey is about progress, not perfection. It's okay to ask for help. Managing anger alone can feel overwhelming, especially if it's tied to deep pain or trauma. Speaking with someone, a trusted friend, family member, or professional, can transform your perspective and provide tools for healing. Remember, seeking support is a step towards strength, not weakness. I want to leave you with this empowering thought: anger doesn't have to control you. It can be a tool you steer, a signal that points you toward healing, growth, and change. You are not your anger. You are strong, resilient, and capable of taking control. Even small steps can make a big difference. Today, I encourage you to choose just one strategy we discussed, maybe practicing mindfulness, journaling your triggers, or expressing gratitude, and see how it transforms your day. With practice, these small actions can lead to lasting change. Thank you for letting me share this journey with you. If this video resonated with you, please like it, share it with someone who might need it, and subscribe to join our growing community. Let's support each other as we navigate life's storms with strength and grace. Together, we can turn challenges into opportunities for growth. Let's take that next step forward, together.